Fantastic. Jodie, I believe
Sure.
we are live. How are you today?
I'm really good. How about you?
I'm good, thanks. So,
Good.
welcome everyone to this live stream. I have the pleasure of having my teammate here, Jodie Boettger, and myself, Karyn Silenzi. We are pro trainers with CanFit Pro, delivering globally recognized certification, workshops, examinations for personal training, and for group fitness specialists. So, today, what Jodie and I would love to do is answer some questions that new fitness instructors and personal trainers have, or people that are considering entering into the fitness industry have. So we've got a number of questions that people sent to us just with respect to, what do I need to know about? Is there a market if I enter the fitness profession now? And where do I go from here? And I think that these are all fairly common questions. Would you agree with that, Jodie?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are not sure what the future holds for the fitness industry, and so they're maybe a little bit hesitant. And I'm hoping we can reassure some folks today.
Absolutely. So, with that, at the end of today's live session, we have our social media links that will be made available to you. But as well, on today's video, you'll notice that underneath our names, we both have our websites listed there. So, one thing that I want to mention is, and I think I touched on it, but I'd like to go a little bit more in depth in this. Jodie and I work together as a team. We currently run virtual certification programs for individuals that are interested in obtaining CanFit Pro personal training specialist or fitness instructor specialist certification so that they can work in the industry. Jodie and I both have sessions coming up, and you'll notice that sometimes I'll teach part of the personal training courses. Sometimes Jodie will teach some of the group fitness instructor courses. We're both able to do examinations in both these types of certifications. We are a very strong team, and we love working together because we've got a great mix of personalities that make the whole learning, teaching environment very rich. So, and I really like Jodie.
And I really like Karyn.
Thank you. That wasn't a plant at all. What I'd like to do first, Jodie, is set the scene.
Mhm.
What the heck is happening in the industry right now? What do people need to know about? What are some of these concerns, and are they founded? So I'll start off just by saying that the information that I'm going to share with everybody today is mostly from IRSA, which is the International Health Racket and Sports Club Association, which is based in the US. But what you'll notice is that the US markets and the Canadian markets are very closely tied, okay, in a number of ways: economy, issues, and of course, fitness. And I think it's important to note that when we go virtual, whether we're teaching a course, whether we're taking a course, whether we're teaching classes or personal training, our audience is now global. So you may have people from the US in your fitness classes or personal training. You may have people from Europe in your fitness classes or personal training. We've gotten rid of physical boundaries by going virtual, okay, both in the courses that we teach and the classes or the sessions that you may teach. So the reason I want to use IRSA is because they have gathered a tremendous amount of data, which will help us understand both the US and the Canadian markets. So with that, let's talk about current environment. So right now in the US, 17% of health clubs have permanently closed. 1 out of 10 individuals have not kept up with their exercise routine. Fitness equipment sales have increased during the pandemic by 130%. And that was during the peak of shutdowns. Only 1 in 5 people had a gym club membership. Now, this is significant. In Canada, that number is running close to around 15%. So, what does this tell us? This tells us that out of the entire population, both in the United States and in Canada, we have room to reach out and touch, assist, help individuals that currently do not or have not in the past belong to a gym. This tells me that there's a lot of opportunity out there. When we take a look at the current market and the current solutions being provided for people at home for home workouts, home fitness isn't always necessarily safe nor affordable. Okay, so kind of interesting, right? Because if you think about at home fitness, how much could it cost? Well, we all know that there are some very popular brands out there right now providing virtual fitness options where the equipment that you need costs around $1,400 to $1,500 and then comes with membership fees, $40 to $50 a month. Now, for some people, this is not affordable. Let's take a look at what was happening during the pandemic. Okay, so 68% of people started using some type of online fitness service during the pandemic, and they plan to continue to do so in the future. 31% of consumers participated in some type of an online fitness challenge. And 6 out of the top 10 health and fitness apps that people downloaded, they offer video workouts or video guided exercise. So this is good. This is promising, right? Why do people join a gym in the first place? Because if we can understand the reason that people initially join a gym, then perhaps we can go about recreating this outside of the gym. So about 1 in 4 people that were surveyed indicated that they joined a gym or a club to address a specific health concern. Nearly half of all of the gym goers use their club to improve their mood and reduce stress. And when we talk about the social aspect of a club ranking highly among members, 42% of those people surveyed indicate that they miss working out with others. And 36% say that they miss their gym's sense of community. Now, add on top of that, the fact that, so we have individuals, 4 out of 5 individuals don't have gym memberships. A significant number of gyms have shut down. We have people saying that they miss community, that they miss working out with others, and that certain virtual offerings are too expensive. But we also have people saying, I've tried virtual and I like it. And going forward, I will continue to do both virtual workouts and club or gym workouts. But what about that population that needs exercise, that would never consider stepping foot into a gym? And I'm talking about the elderly, the people that are required to stay at home at live-in residences that can't go out to the gym, or the people that are suffering from health conditions that going to a gym is either very uncomfortable for them from a self-perception point of view, or difficult because the gyms themselves may not have the type of programming required to suit their needs. What you hear me saying is there is a wealth of opportunity for individuals entering in to the virtual space to provide personal training and group fitness. So what Jodie and I would like to do is highlight how community, programming, and understanding what the people out there need that are going to help you become successful at going after teaching virtual personal training or fitness classes. So with that, I would first like to encourage Jodie to share perhaps what some of her experiences have been, both with virtual programming, personal training, or options that she's aware of out there in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is an exciting time in a lot of ways, even though it's been a hard-hitting time for physical brick and mortar gyms. And certainly there will always be a population of people that want to be with other people in those facilities. But to your point, COVID has forced us to provide more affordable guidance for people to access at home. And so gyms they have to be more flexible with what they're offering. And so app-based programming has become very popular. There's a lot of different apps out there. But what's a real key, and it's a difference than maybe going to a website and just downloading a workout. The difference with an app-based program or app-based programming is the interaction. Actually, still you have live interaction or recorded interaction with your trainer or group fitness instructors. So you can actually pass messages back and forth in different modalities. You can share, your trainer can share videos with you, or you as the trainer can prepare videos. It's actually a pretty exciting and fun way to deliver programming, and it's personalized. And I think that's a real key, that people still need personalized instruction. And that's where we're looking for fitness professionals to guide, right? That can actually watch you move or watch a recording of you moving, give you an assessment on how you're moving, and then program appropriately for your goals. So what I've seen in the last year is a huge growth in app-based programming, and also people developing more and more of a comfort level with virtual training over video conferencing programs like Zoom, Google Meet, FaceTime, all these different applications that are out there that have really grown. If you had stocks in those before COVID, you're really looking good. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So I know, gym owners are having to come up with creative ways to engage people remotely and virtually, and that, what that's going to look like, what percentage of their business is going to be that moving forward, we still have to figure that out. But as new trainers or people that are interested in coming into the industry as instructors or trainers, there's no doubt that there will need to be the flexibility to accommodate remote and virtual interactions with your clients.
That's excellent. So I love the fact, and I just want to drill down onto a couple of the points that you made here, Jodie. Bi-directional. Okay, so bi-directional is that type of virtual offering where there's feedback. Okay, both ways. So it's not necessarily on demand, although on demand you can do probably not so much in a personal training setting, but in a group fitness setting, absolutely 100%. But as soon as you have that bi-directional, it's as close to live in-person classes or training sessions as you can get. So there's a multitude of ways of being able to achieve this. So right off the bat, I want to ensure that individuals that are looking to get certified or start their career or even restart their career in our current environment, that they realize that there's so many options. There is not one single way to do it. Now, the other thing that you mentioned, Jodie, is clubs are going hybrid, which means that they may have live in-person classes, they may have live in-person personal training sessions, but they're also coming up with ways of doing this virtually. Now, when we talk about that type of a platform, it may be as simple as Zoom, all right? I was watching a number of the YMCAs here in Calgary, and they provide ongoing Zoom workouts free of charge. It's not bi-directional. It is live, but the individual who's running it cannot see or gauge that individual's ability, whoever's on the other side of the screen. They can't see what that person is doing. So they can't make those very important corrections or one-on-one connections. And then we've got other types of programming, and I'll just mention Movement as an example. So Movement has got very much a hybrid model where they're offering recorded, live, bi-directional. They have a whole different type of offerings for members. So they're in that space where they've got the live, the virtual, the on-demand, and the bi-directional. So it's really interesting because I worry that people that are looking at coming into the workout space aren't aware of all the options, which of course is one of the reasons why we're doing this virtual session with you today. So Jodie, you touched on the platforms. Are there any specific types of platforms that you'd like to mention for our viewers that they may find will add to the success of becoming a thriving personal trainer in this environment?
Well, CanFit Pro's partnered with Trainer Plus, which is trainer with a plus sign, and it's actually a very competitive app. I've played with it. You can actually get a free trial with it. If you go to canfitpro.com and look for member partners, I think it is. It's in the partner page for CanFit Pro. Also Technogym, so Technogym, their app and Trainer Plus app, very similar ways of delivering programming. You can record your own library of exercises. So if you have a specialty, for myself, I love to teach mobility, and a lot of those exercises are not generally in the app. And so I can actually record myself doing those exercises and then share those with my clients. And it's so individualized that way. They both have that capability. And of course, more and more apps are coming on the market I'm sure, like people are just trying to develop them and get in on this. But those are the two that I'm most aware of. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all I've got.
That's great. That's fantastic. And I've just dropped both of those websites and the names into I didn't do the Techno Gym, but
I think it's called, yeah, well, the one we use is called My Wellness Pro that I'm most familiar with.
oh
Uh,
yes.
mhm.
Oh yes, I'm very familiar with that one as well. So let's talk about group fitness. So, group fitness virtual offerings, again, you can do something as simple as using Zoom for your platform. You'd probably want to take a look at the professional account where you're paying about $22 Canadian a month. And then that way you have unlimited time that you can record and live stream to your clients. Um, and then we've got other programs. Okay, on I'm just trying to think. So there's Twitch TV that you can do really interesting things with OBS, which is a bit of a beast to get into, but incredibly functional once you do figure out how to work it. And on Podio. Now, I had done an interview with the founder of On Podio a few months back, and I have a recording of that because I wanted to highlight some of these independent innovators within the industry. And Onpodio is a platform where you can record group fitness classes and then you can put them up so that people can go in and purchase your classes. And there's a whole bunch of different ways that they can purchase it. They can purchase the individual classes, they can purchase bulks or groups of classes, and then you can also create memberships. So before we get into talking about the value of what do I price my classes at, what do I price my training sessions at, etc., I do want to say that when we're talking about the different platforms that you can use, and of course Onpodio is global and accepts currency in pretty much any type of currency there is. But what's really interesting about this platform is they don't charge you, the instructor, a fee. What happens is as soon as someone purchases your class, then they'll charge a nominal fee. So that, if you're thinking about going virtual, you have to think about the fees that are associated with it, because I'm pretty sure that we're all in this industry to make a little bit of cash. And so we want to make sure that we're aware of the hidden costs that are out there. So, Jodie, would this be a good time to jump forward and talk about cost and what personal trainers might be comfortable charging for doing sessions if they're branching out on their own and they're not affiliated with any particular company?
Yeah, sure. I think the biggest thing is not to undervalue your expertise, number one. There's also a lot of trainers I think are hesitant because there's so much free out there, which of course is really difficult. It's hard to compete with free. But then again, who can actually offer free training or free group fitness long term? So some people have done that to get a foothold, but you can't sustain that very long. And so I'd recommend, number one, if you are training virtually, so that's where you're in a live interactive setting, that you would price that very, very closely to how you'd price your training actually in person, because you're still using all of your skills, all of your experience, all of your training to, individualize that workout, to coach, to, help them psychologically and so on. That's still very valuable. So, for one-on-one, generally speaking, if you were to train someone for an hour, let's say, and you're new in the industry, I'd probably recommend charging something around the lines of $50 to $60 an hour. That way you're competing, right? Of course, every market's a little different. So you got to kind of price out what part of the world you're in. Even different parts of Canada and the US could be priced differently based on the market. So I'm talking, that's probably a pretty typical market for where we are in Alberta, in a larger center. When it comes to group training, you'd probably do about 60% of your one-on-one fee is what you charge for virtual group training. And that would be maybe where you're with 2 to 5 people, maybe 2 to 4 people, where you can still give really great individualized instruction. And that's where you can really up your hourly rate, because you're charging each person individually. When it comes to then of course you can kind of the big thing is to have a bunch of different offerings, and it's going to drop depending on how much interaction you have. So again, don't undervalue your interaction with people. You've got a lot to bring to the table. If you're delivering a very standardized weekly workout that is one size fits all, well, that's going to be your lowest priced offering. And that's maybe what you can get people started with, just to get a taste of what you do. But as soon as you add, and maybe, I'm just trying to think what you could charge biweekly for that, or once a month, you could charge, for a once a week workout, maybe something along the lines of $10 a week, just because it's very little time. That's where you're going to try and get bulk amounts of people subscribed to that once a week workout, that you just do one program for everybody. So it doesn't take you that much time. So that would be kind of the lowest price point. And then, you might have subscriptions, or pay as you go, or, again, kind of like what you were saying with On Podio, where you provide a certain number of workouts a month. But again, that's where you're going to kind of land somewhere between that $10 every week and that $50 or $60 per session, based on how much you're interacting with people. So it's really about having a variety of products available, so that whoever you talk to can fit into some kind of a price point with you.
And you bring up some excellent points here, Jodie, because when you are structuring your fee schedule, you want to take a look at how much would you charge for a one-off, how much would you charge for a one-off, a very basic, plain vanilla, and then what kind of discounts do you offer going forward? Because, if you have someone that is going to commit to coming to your personal training or your group fitness classes 6 times, you would offer a discount rather than that one-off fee. And then let's say you have someone who decides that they want to become a member. And let's keep in mind here, my friends, as a fitness professional, you have to work within your scope of practice. Okay. So you can't be offering advice or information on things that are outside of what you have trained or are certified to do. But remember, people often are looking for a one-stop shop, okay? So they're looking to be able to get information on nutrition, on group fitness, on health concerns. So don't forget that as a fitness professional, you don't have to do this on your own. There are groups of individuals, or groups of fitness professionals, I should say, that are getting together to offer their clients membership-based solutions where each person contributes within their scope of practice, but together as a team, they're able to offer even more. So, when you're looking at first starting out, and Jodie, I know we got one of these questions. Individuals that are first getting certified, that aren't quite sure of their own abilities, they're a little worried about putting themselves out there. They often say, hey, can I offer my classes or my sessions for free to friends and family, to build up a little bit of confidence, to build up a little bit of a buffer, and to hone my skills? Because let's face it, going virtual has been a challenge for a lot of people. And many of us have been working through kinks along the way, trying to get our sound right, trying to get our lighting right, trying to get the whole picture perfect for the people that we serve. So, what are your thoughts on that, Jodie? Someone who's just entering the marketplace, should they offer their services for free?
Well, I do think, I actually do a presentation for people coming into the industry very regularly. And, I kind of have a little funnel we do of prospecting where you're going to find your clients. And one of the first things I recommend is friends and family. Like, definitely sharpen your teeth, as it were, with your friends and family who are going to be forgiving. They're also going to give you honest feedback, hopefully. And, before you start charging for your services, I would definitely gain some confidence in what you're offering and how you want to offer it. But don't leave that too long, right? So you'd want to definitely maybe set a definitely maybe, but set a time where you're going to say, okay, I'm going to give it 4 weeks, 6 weeks of practicing. And, maybe you use one of those app-based delivery programs and you practice with a couple of people for free first, or you host a couple of fitness classes for your friends. And like you say, iron out the kinks, but set a goal for when that's going to end, so that you actually move forward with charging for your services. It doesn't serve anybody in the industry for you to offer free services for any length of time. And it'll actually hinder you from longevity in the industry if you don't get an income going, right? So yeah, there's a time and place for sure, I think, to start with free services. Also, just let me tie in referral networking, because you mentioned that there's oftentimes a group of people that will come together to serve members in different ways. And getting in with a referral network can be really powerful that way, where you can find a group of people that offer different services, and you can bounce ideas off each other, help each other market, and maybe create those package deals. But it can be really powerful to help you build your confidence as well. And that's, again, where your referral partners, you want to give them a free service, because that's really the only way for them to build trust in what you do, so that they'll actually refer people to you. So there is a time and place for free services. That is absolutely something that we use in the industry all the time to build trust and show the value of what we do. But again, make it finite, and people will understand that you're trying to make a living and you need to put bread on, food on the table and pay your rent. But they also, of course, want to know what they're paying for. So yeah.
Mhm. Jodie, the fact that you said that, it reminded me of a quote: build your wings on the way down. Just like
Mhm.
those baby birds, when they get pushed out of the nest, we all have that moment where we fear to take that step because we don't know what's next. So build your wings on the way down. Let's talk about how we can help people build their wings on the way down. Let's talk about mentoring. So, Jodie, I know that that you've mentored many successful fitness professionals, as have I. And mentoring and sharing information and helping people to grow their wings on the way down is something that we very much believe in, because we want to pass on the information that will make other people successful, because we know that in turn, that's going to make our members, our clients, their journey towards health and wellness even more impactful. So, what do you offer for individuals who are looking for advice, for guidance, or perhaps even mentorship?
Mhm. Well, I mean, for sure, my virtual door is always open, to contact me, and I can talk to you about, how to enter the industry and best practices that I've seen over the last 20 years. I do offer formal mentorship, myself and my team. So that's with Karyn and also Eldridge Abad. We've all been in the industry for many years, and we've all worked in different areas and different modalities as well. So we do offer formal mentorship sessions, and that's on my website. I also am very open to sharing my contacts. So if there's someone that if there's a direction you really want to go, and I haven't specialized in that, and I know someone who has, I would love to be a connector for you as well. So those are some things that I can offer.
I love it. And absolutely, I feel the exact same way. I love connecting people within the industry. When I get people coming to my fitness courses, the CanFit Pro fitness certification courses, one of the things that we do right near the beginning is we talk about all the different directions that you can take where you are today, and grow and expand and where you can go, because there are a lot of options. There's a lot of possibilities. It doesn't have to stop with just being a personal trainer or just being a fitness instructor, although that's probably where you want to start if you're just entering the industry. I love to connect people. The people that come through my certification courses, I am always sending them out to the clubs and facilities that, or making connections or introductions with those clubs and facilities that I think that they would be a great fit with. So, of course, anytime you're working with someone like Jodie or myself who believe in mentoring to improve our industry, we're going to do whatever we can to help you grow and flourish as a fitness professional. So, yes, we both have those informal and formal mentoring packages available for not only just our students, but anyone within the industry themselves. Let's talk about, I'm just looking at my little list of questions that people sent in. Oh, yeah. Okay. We've got a couple more minutes. So let's talk about building what you call that funnel, that prospective client base. How do you go about getting clients?
Mhm.
Feel comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of different ways to be employed in the industry, and it goes on a sliding scale, really, of the most support, the least risk, but also probably the least pay per hour, to the most risk, more pay per hour, but very little support. And so when it comes to where you're going to start, that's where I've got a lot of experience with personal trainers, especially on evaluating where you're at right now and what you need to be successful. Because like Karyn said, we really want you to stick around in this industry. Most people who come into the industry are extremely passionate about helping others and passionate about the prehab aspect of fitness, but you've got to find the right landing spot to really have those wings aided to get your strength and to be able to actually get the confidence in the business sense to move forward. So on the one side, you've got an employment model where you've got a lot of people that are just put in front of you, and that could be facilities like YMCA, like different city facilities or public-private partnerships, where people will just walk up to the front desk of the facility and buy training. And then the trainers on staff, the employees on staff will, they'll receive those clients. And you don't really have to do anything. You show up for your shift and you've got clients waiting for you and you train them. So there's tons of people available. So when we're talking about a prospecting funnel, that's the easiest way to enter the industry, is actually to have clients given to you. And there's other business models where they will give you clients initially, but they'll also teach you how to build relationships and rapport with people in the gym to gain more clients. Now, virtually, how does that work? Well, again, if you're working for a gym, they're reaching out to all of their members that have their memberships on hold right now, and they're trying to offer them virtual and remote services to keep them moving and to really help their health. And so in that vein, you can still be an employee, but be really in the virtual world. So that's probably the number one way new trainers entering the industry get clients, is from the facilities they work at, from contact lists that are inherent in those businesses. Secondly, again, it's learning how to work the floor. So being in the facility and talking to members. Now, you can't do that right now in many places. So that's where that network marketing can really come in, and getting out into the public. Whenever you meet somebody, the first thing we say is, "Hi, my name is," and "What's yours?" And the second thing, usually, "What do you do for work?" So when it's as easy as that, and I've got actually some worksheets that I give people on how to build a personal clear or an elevator pitch, on how to really capsulize your message and your vision of what you do in that initial introduction with people. So that's another way is referral marketing. So getting a large number of people that get to know what you do, and then making time to meet with them. And certainly that virtually is really great right now, but take time, take half an hour to an hour to sit down and talk to fellow entrepreneurs or business people about what they do, what's an ideal client for them. And then they're going to ask you what you do and what's an ideal client for you. And then we're going to think, each of you is going to think about people in your realm that you can refer to each other. That's another really powerful way. Another thing is getting involved in the community. And a very exciting initiative right now in Canada is called the Prescription to Get Active program. This is where medical doctors are prescribing exercise, and partner facilities are giving, 4 to 6 week free membership. How about virtually? Well, guess what? They're also referring people in remote communities to virtual trainers. So you can get involved, you give them, your services for free for maybe 4 weeks. And again, that's where you can figure out what you're going to offer them. And then they will likely stay with you, because if you're able, they're not able to travel into big centers, they need help. And that Prescription to Get Active program is extremely exciting. It's just prescriptiontogetactive.com. And, maybe if you're not in Canada or you're in another community, take a look at that website and see what's possible. And it's very exciting because it's really partnering with the medical community in a way that's absolutely essential right now. So there's ways that you can get involved in the community that way. There's also community events that you can get involved in and volunteer in and get to know more people. And then just traditional advertising, right? So social media advertising, Kijiji. Don't undersell Kijiji. My partner's an accountant, and he continues to get new clients weekly off Kijiji because he's done an incredible job of wording his ad. And so people do buy professional services on Kijiji still. And of course, that's one of many sites like that. There's TikTok, there's Snapchat, there's LinkedIn, which honestly, everybody should have a professional LinkedIn profile. Facebook and Instagram, of course, are incredibly powerful marketplaces. Clubhouse. There's just all these places you can meet people virtually and build your brand. And I guess that's probably a snapshot of what I usually talk about when it comes to a prospecting funnel, where you're going to find people.
I love that you brought this up, Jodie, because so Jeff Tirada, who is the program director for Prescription to Get Active, is going to be one of my podcast guests.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be running a very special Fit Pro Inspiration podcast with a friend that I'm collaborating with down in the US to bring fitness professionals that inspire people and give them ideas and opportunities and chances to really flourish within our industry, within North America. So I was really excited that you brought him up or brought Prescription to Get Active up, because yes, you wouldn't believe the plethora of opportunities that are available for fitness professionals right now through this virtual platform. So I wrote down a couple of notes when you were talking. I think it's really important that when we're talking about building your client base, and Jodie, believe me when I say that Kijiji has never entered my mind as being a platform to build your base, but I love it. I'm going to go check it out now. You really want to identify the pain, the problem, and the solution. We started off today's little webinar discussion with an overview of why people belong to gyms and who's using virtual right now and what's happening in the industry to shape and change all of that. So these are all areas that I encourage all fitness professionals to take a look at, to really drill down into what they have to offer based on the current environment, and not only the current environment, but future endeavors as well. So when you're first starting out, you might accept people who are outside of your target market. Eventually, you will want to build and shape your career so that you are focusing on the people that you can serve the best. But when you're just starting out, you're probably, as we talked about, looking for ways to just build your business, okay? And that's okay. There is time. There is time, all right? I haven't spoken to a single fitness professional yet who says that the way they started in the business is the way that they're doing business now. It's an evolution. This is all about progression, not perfection. So we have time to build our skills. So I want to encourage you to take that first step. Secondly, Jodie talked about other groups that you can go to for support and helping shape this. So I know that WIFA, the Women in Fitness, is a huge supporter of women going out and making their mark in the fitness industry. There's many others. CanFit Pro recently just held their Fit Pro online conference, which Jodie and I were a part of. Check us out. But they had a number of really excellent ideas for building a virtual running course that you can, areas of Canada and the US, they're opening back up for fitness, for foot races. So people need to start training again. But if they can't train in person, they can train with you virtually. So I know that Dr. Jason Karp put out a session on building a virtual running coaching business there. I know that, I'm going to get the name wrong, Jessica Maurer, perhaps. She talked about, building your customer base or your client base and really drilling down into who you should have, or questions you should ask yourself when you're building who you want to have as a client, or a member within your particular business model. So, I encourage you, there's a wealth of information, and there are a number of people that want to see you become successful in this endeavor. So again, check it out, ask questions, look for options and solutions. The last point I want to make, just when we're talking about building your business, is, and now I just want to make this absolutely clear, we do have to be aware and cognizant of potential conflicts within the industry. There's a couple of different conflicts, right? Conflict in not exceeding your scope of practice, conflict in when you're building your business. Please, you cannot poach on the company that you started off with. So let's say you start off in a bricks and mortar or a virtual organization where they're providing clients to you, and then you decide to go off on your own and create your own business model. You can't take those clients. It's a huge conflict of interest, and speaks to integrity. So you have to be aware that if you're sourcing clients or individuals from one area, you can't then decide to take them with you. All right. Because I think that you can get into trouble doing that. I know you can get into trouble doing that. And this is an industry built on health, wellness, and being ethical, right? If you take a look at our code of conduct, ethics is very high up there. So we always have to approach everything with integrity and the best intent of all. And I just wanted to mention that because, the lines, they can get a little blurry, right, Jodie? Like,
Yeah.
have you experienced anything like that or seen anything like that in the industry?
Absolutely. I think, well, I've seen it happen in the industry, and unfortunately, sometimes litigations occurred where a company has sued leaving trainers for taking clients with them. I also see, some people coming into the industry with that thought that I'm going to work at a gym and then I'm going to take those clients with me. That sounds like a great business plan. And so I'm really glad you brought it up, Karyn, because for some, they just don't understand that it would be an unethical way of operating. And I do have to say, as a recruiter in the industry, the memory's long, the fitness industry, and if you're in a certain center, it's got a memory like an elephant. So if you act unethically or without integrity, that reputation will follow you for a very long time, and it could really damage your ability to actually have a great career. So acting ethically and with integrity from the get-go will preserve your ability to make this a career that lasts for you. So thanks for bringing that up, Karyn.
Yeah. So, Jodie, looks like we're almost out of time here. So I wanted to give people the opportunity to reach out to us later on. So I've got a little page here that has all of our social links on it in the event that you have questions. But, we could talk about this information for a very long time. So Jodie, I think that there's value actually in continuing this conversation with future webinars or future whatever we're doing here, this video that we're going to have a link that people can watch. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. And we would welcome more comments and questions so that we can bring you what you're looking for.
Well, I just realized I haven't been watching the Facebook page, so I haven't actually seen if there's. I've been looking at the Zoom screen because, of course, we're recording this on Zoom and running it live on Facebook. So, hey, technology, we're all learning. So, we're going to give you an opportunity to reach out to us. We have not even dented the surface of everything that we can talk about, but I want to let you know that both Jodie and myself have certification workshops, courses, and exams coming up in the very near future. We've included our website pages there that you can take a look to find out where that is and reach out and contact us. Because remember, at the end of the day, we want you to be successful in positively impacting the wellness and fitness industry. And if we can help you with that, we would be honored to do so. So, Jodie, we're about to sign off here. Any last words that you have? I know we didn't touch on everything that we wanted to talk about.
I would just echo what you said, Karyn. We really want people to have longevity in the industry. We need you. Your fellow citizens need you. They need your help. And if you've got that passion and that ability to connect with people, and then of course you can gain some scope of practice and a skill set with the certification, the industry needs you. And I don't want to say your country needs you, but your fellow citizens need you. So we're here to help you.
Country kind of does need us because it's not in we're not in a good space right now when it comes to health and wellness, unfortunately, because of a number of things that have happened. But you brought up a really good point. Oh my gosh, you guys, the industry needs fitness professionals right now. We need fitness instructors, we need personal trainers. Every facility that is open, either virtually or live, are looking for people. This is the time.
Yeah,
So
maybe I just, sorry, Karyn, let me just add one more thing because I think it's important to mention too that I am a recruiter. This is part of what I do, and we are hiring personal trainers right now. But we're looking for people that actually have that ability to be effective in the virtual world. And both of our courses are virtual courses coming up, so this will give you a head start because you'll already have a comfort level with virtual training based on doing the course with us virtually. So just not to forget that.
yeah, we're looking forward to seeing how we can serve you. What I'm going to do right now is attempt to get that page up on screen so that you can see it, so that you have our social media links. There it is. Maybe take a little picture or jot something down, because again, Jodie and I would be more than happy to assist you going forward. If you have any questions about our upcoming courses, workshops, conference presentations, anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. And we're back, and I hope to see you again. So, signing off, thank you on behalf of myself and Jodie. Thank you for joining us today.